Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome in the morning. I'm your host, the Ranting Monkey. He's Jack. Hi, Jack. Wait a second. It, Jack, why won't it let me add you to the stream? There we go. Holy crap. Oh, I know. I'm on the wrong internet. Hi, Jack. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Um, uh, Bad at my job.
Yeah. Aren't we all? That's what's going on. What?
I said, should we just start over? Holy
I don't
shit.
know.
Hi, guys. Welcome to the show. Least professional monkey on the internet. Jack, how you doing tonight, man?
I'm okay. How are you?
I believe I'm getting the cold that's going around my family. So, good. I'm well. Had a good Christmas. How was your Christmas, man?
I sat around and did nothing the majority of the day, and then I went to bed. And
Awesome.
I just got up like 2 minutes before you sent the link.
I hope everybody had a great Christmas out there. And to those of you, I mean, the West Coast still has almost a full hour of Christmas left. Enjoy it, y'all. Hump. Get a Christmas hump in. I'm just trying to help people out. That's all. I had a really decent Christmas. It was good.
Good.
I could have used more sleep, as always. There's something building in my chest, but I take pills, so I don't feel like the pain part of it. So I'm actually having a pretty good day.
Oh, good. Good.
The middle child the middle grandchild who's usually afraid of the dog was actually playing with the dog today. It was so cute, Jack. She came downstairs because there's more room for them to play, and she was trying to quietly call him downstairs. I was like, listen, guys, listen. She usually will not go near this dog because she's very nervous of him, and he's very loud, and she doesn't like loud noises to begin with. Played with him all day. It was the cutest damn thing.
It's a Christmas miracle.
It was a Christmas miracle. It was almost like she had this little stick of a tree, and if you just put enough garland on it, it looked like a real one. And if you guys don't get that reference, your lives make me sad. Speaking of lives that make me sad, Jack, right after we got off the air last night, we saw indications that there might have been some illegals dropped off at Kamala's house.
Yay!
Yay! And I'm not going to lie to you guys. I laughed when I saw the headline. Jack can back me up on that because he laughed too.
Yeah, because it was funny.
It's funny as shit. So, Texas, we don't know exactly where in Texas, last I knew at least. Texas sent a busload, what was it, 50 illegals, sorry, 50 migrants to Kamala's house up there in D.C., dropped them off right outside the vice presidential mansion. Notice I said mansion because that's what it is. And they dropped off these illegals, and the press has lost their goddamn minds over it. Lost their fucking minds. I want to show you a headline, and this is pretty reminiscent of, or not reminiscent. It's a good indication of all headlines you're seeing. More migrants dropped off outside vice president's home in freezing weather on Christmas Eve. It's not an untrue headline, Jack. It was freezing. It was outside the vice presidential mansion. But what they don't talk about is the fact that when they left Texas, it was fucking freezing.
Oh, no. How dare you do this to some divine illegals? These people deserve all of your free stuff.
Several busloads of migrants were dropped off in front of the vice presidential residence in Washington, D.C. on Christmas Eve in 18-degree weather. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, no. Oh, these poor precious people that are getting all this free stuff are mildly inconvenienced.
When they left Texas, it was under 30, under 32, which is freezing. 32 and below, freezing. For those of you who speak British or whatever it is, that shit you guys use called Celsius, 32 is freezing in the United States. So 18 degrees is freezing. But there were some parts of Texas that were lower than 18. Nobody's talking about this.
They don't care.
No, they're just like, oh my God, they put them there when it was freezing. Well, here's an idea. Invite them into the vice presidential mansion. Bring them in, get them warm.
That would have been what Jesus would do. But
Nah. They called people to come get these dirty ass migrants off her fucking lawn.
Yeah, they did not like Texas's Christmas present.
They didn't. I mean, and they love illegals, so I don't understand what the problem was here. You would have thought she'd have brought them in a nice Christmas gesture, gave them all some like warm apple cider, some Christmas cookies, maybe done something to help them out. But nah, man, she's like, get ice here quick. I don't understand what the problem is. Now, I did read, and I don't know if this is true, but I think it's funny that this bus was actually supposed to go to New York, but it was too cold in New York, so they stopped in DC instead.
Either way,
that's funny as shit.
It's kind of regifting, but
it is. Well, it's kind of regifting anyway, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I'm okay with that.
I 100% support Texas and Louisiana and Arizona and Florida, all of these places where the illegals are, settling, pushing them north, sending them up to all of these motherfuckers who are like, I think we should it's a humanitarian crisis. We should let them in. Okay, they can be your problem. But that's not what they want. They want it to be Texas's problem. They want it to be Arizona's problem. They want it to be California's problem. In California, frankly, they want it too. So fuck them.
Yeah.
But hey, you guys like this? Here you fucking go. Deal with it. Deal with it and see how much it's just a humanitarian thing that look, man, they're so beat up and they got a death threat in their country one time. And they have a relative named Jesus and they're atheists, so it's just religious persecution. All of this nonsense bullshit that they talk all the time when they're defending this shit. Let them live it. Let them live it. Fuck them. This is what you get. This is what it looks like. But it's 18 degrees. It was, some people in Texas, it was minus 30 with the wind chill. Fuck off. You don't talk about that. You don't talk about, oh my God, they let illegals through when it was fucking freezing in Texas. Nah, because that'd be a real story. I'm sorry, Jack. I'm taking up all the space here.
Oh, no, you're thoughts? Good. No, I just think that any sanctuary city should be getting all these migrants.
See, I hear you on that, but I don't think it should just be sanctuary cities. I think it should be, yes. I also think it should be dropped off at the houses of any of these goddamn politicians who are like, no, we need all this. Fuck you. Here you go.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, anybody that's advocating for this should absolutely be the recipients.
And they're like, how dare you do that kind of stuff? This isn't fair. Fuck you. We saw this with Adams. He's like, this is testing the bounds of our ability to take care of people. Well, then maybe you shouldn't have been pushing the idea that it's okay to have illegals.
Yeah. Real quick. Thank you, Stalin, who says, I could give them some nice work in Siberia.
There you go.
Yeah, once they get acclimated to the cold.
By the way, guys, we are brought to you by you. Please like, share. Sharing is caring. That your friends, your family, that bitch you hate. And if you can, toss Jack or me some money at the link at the top of your chat.
Let the Christmas spirit take over.
Yeah. Yeah, fuck these people. I'm so tired of watching this shit. I mean, we can see it's bullshit. We can see what actually is happening. El Paso is a disaster because of the open border. Yeah. Texas is down there having to fight this fight themselves. The federal government steps in to be like, hey, you guys can't do this shit. Where is it? Is it Arizona where they're putting the trailers, the shipping containers, and they're getting sued for doing it? Like, what the fuck you? They're trying to use shipping containers to close the border because it's literally wide open.
No, they want it open though, Mikey. They have to make up for our declining birth rates or some nonsense.
Yeah, you know how we make up for declining birth rates? Fuck, guys. I've been telling you this for years.
You might accidentally get some white babies, and they don't want that.
All right. Bang a person of color. Have nice little mocha babies. I'm okay with it.
Then they'll still be partly white, monkey.
That's fair. But not if they become president.
Oh yeah, well, it does depend on how they identify. But what if they identify as being part white? That's a problem.
Yeah. Well, no, because if they identify as being part white, then they're part of the oppressor class, which means that they have no problems in life. See,
Yeah, well, that
see,
that is still a problem because then we have
uh,
another oppressor.
I'm telling you, it'll work.
Oh,
But
I hope
you know what
so.
won't work? Just bringing in a whole bunch of people on the notion of we need to replace the population. Look, I've been on the population thing for a while. I really have. We need to have more humping. We really do. You gots to hump. Have more babies. Don't be these people out there being like, I heard climate change is a bitch, so I ain't gonna have no babies. Now that person should not have sex because they're retarded,
Yeah.
and you don't want to pass down the retard gene. But the rest of you should be smart enough to be like, yeah, that's fucking stupid. Kids are great. Let's keep the species going. That's just a good idea. You can't have oppression without press. Fair. Well said, Random. But the fucking press, man, losing their shit over this, like they dropped him off on the Isle of Misfit Toys. They dropped him at Kamala's house. She's got a big ass house. It's literally a mansion. She could have put them all in one little room, and it would have been more space than they had when they were brought over here illegally. You know, as they shoved them in the back of trucks, or had a coyote stick them in a trunk under a false hatch in the Millennium Falcon. I'm trying to drop more pop culture references because I hear that's hip.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to be more hip with the kids.
No cap, yo.
No cap. Yeah, they do the Naruto run across the border. However the fuck they get here. They don't belong here.
Faster.
They don't belong here. We need to just kick them out. I saw just the other day, Jack, some fucking retarded congressman going, what we need to do is massive immigration reform. No, the fuck we don't. We need to just go by what our laws say. Kick them the fuck out. And this
no, we can't do that.
This nonsense of, oh, well, they're refugees. No, they're not. Just because they claim, yeah, I'm a refugee. No. All right, let's see. You're from here. There's no war. Get the fuck out.
No, both sides of the fence want these people here for different reasons, mostly because Republicans are pussy little cowards. But yeah, they're not going to kick these people out. They're going to give them amnesty. Watch. In the next 2 years, I would say less than that, probably at the beginning of the next Congress, they're going to put an amnesty bill on the table. And the Republicans will be all on board with it. Mitch McConnell will go for it.
Yeah, it's going to have to get through the House. And I think the House, hopefully, will put a stop to this shit.
I don't have that much faith in the Republicans anymore. I'd like to hope so, but.
Well, any amnesty bill would have to come with some kind of assurances like the last one did. Oh, wait. Wait.
Yeah, well, yeah. That's just stuff on paper. Doesn't
mean
anything.
The last amnesty bill is part of what happened here. Because they're like, all right, we're only going to let the ones who are in right now, and we're going to secure the border. We're going to make sure this shit doesn't happen again. And all it did was tell people down below, like, you know, if we go up there and wait long enough, we go up there and cause a big enough problem, they'll just do it again.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't reward bad behavior. It just causes more bad behavior. Have you people never had dogs, for fuck's sake? Read the Pavlov experiments, for fuck's sake. See, another good pop culture reference.
Oh, yeah, and science.
And science, yeah. I am the science.
You're not Fauci.
I'm the new science because he's retiring or some shit.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm just so tired of the nonsense. And the press, they're out there with these stupid-ass headlines. They dropped him off in the cold. They're not lying. They did drop him off in the cold, but they're just not telling the whole truth because they came from the fucking cold because the entire fucking country has been freezing for days, Jack. They had all of these stories about the polar vortex and the, what they call it, the Arctic bomb or whatever. Oh my God.
Something like that.
Everybody, look how cold it is. And then when it comes to this, suddenly it's like, warm and sunny in Texas, where it's not. They're just fucking liars. They're fucking liars. Mexico is nice and warm. Yeah, it is.
Well,
I
they don't
also
like
saw
it cold. They should be here.
I saw another story the other day that said, what was it? Millions, however many illegals have come up and said, most of them aren't Mexicans. So they're still illegal, right? Get them the fuck back out.
I don't care where they're from. Send them home.
We could do this pretty easy, right? Jack, you ever been to a baseball game?
Yes.
Or a football game? For a major league team?
Yes.
Thousands and thousands and thousands of people go there, right?
Uh-huh.
And you go in and you give them a ticket and they have this little thing you got to walk through. And if you don't have a ticket, they tell you to go to fuck home. We put those at the border and the guy tries to come up and like, do you got a ticket? And he's like, no. And like, all right, go to fuck home. We don't need to have this system because I don't know if you guys understand what happens right now. We have illegals come up and they go, I'm a refugee. I'm seeking refuge and I wanted to be declared a refugee. And we go, shit. All right, come on in. And then it takes years and years and years to go through whether or not they're an actual refugee. And then if they aren't, if they bother to even come to court, getting them back out can take months to years later. We're just like, all right, we'll get you when we can. Instead of being like, all right, you're not supposed to be here, get the fuck out. And refugee status is not supposed to be something where somebody can just come up and go, yeah, in my village, I once pooped on a table and everybody hates me now, so I need to become an American. That's not how it's supposed to work. It's supposed to be for dire circumstances like war. But no.
Nah, not anymore, monkey.
No, because we do it. These are economic refugees. These are people who come from poor countries. All right, send them some seeds. That's what we should do, Jack. When they get up here, like, all right, I get it. You're an economic refugee. Food and shit is tight. Here you go. Here's a bag of corn seeds. Go home. Go home.
Yeah, well, they're not going to do that, though, and we both know it. So, unfortunately, our government is convinced that we need these people to bring wages down, I guess.
See, I don't even believe that. I don't. I'm sorry. I don't. That is all shit that has been tacked on and tacked on and tacked on. The original reason for doing this is just, well, it's the right thing to do. They come from these impoverished countries. Fuck you. It's not what it's supposed to be here for. And all of this other shit is just stuff they've added on, like the birth rate thing. That is an argument they've only been making for about 6 months.
Yeah, but that's the arguments they're making because they know there's no good arguments for this.
It's bad arguments. It's all stupid shit. However, that's what's being pushed on you. And your government, you're right, Jack. We're not going to stop it because Republicans are pussies. They love to run on closing the border and getting rid of illegals. But when it comes time to, they're, ooh, I might get bad press if I do that. They might call me a bigot if I do that. You know what? Fuck them. Let them call you a bigot. It's better to be called a bigot while doing the right thing than to be a piece of shit who never does the right thing.
Yeah, well, the more of these people that come in, the lower your wages get. If you're poor now, you're going to get a lot more poor because they're going to work for cheaper.
Oh, yeah.
And you can't compete with that because there's going to be like 30 people to a house with most of these illegals. They don't care. But your wages are going to go down significantly, and they work under the table. So why would they pay your taxes when they could hire somebody that's here illegally and pay them in cash under the table for less than minimum wage?
The Democrats will tell you, black and brown people are making the least money. They're the most likely to be in the bracket that's only making minimum wage. And then they'll tell you, no, what we really need is to bring in these illegals, which is going to drive down the wages of the black and brown people who are already here, actual Americans.
Yeah, that's a real economic impact other than these people freeloading off you. Your taxes are going to go up and your wages are going to go down because these people will work cheaper.
Yep.
And they'll put in more hours. So you're going to get a lot less opportunity to improve your life and a lot less chances for upward mobility. Why would they hire you over somebody that'll work for cash under the table? It just makes no economic sense to any businesses.
I cannot for the life of me understand why minorities vote for the Democrats. I cannot understand why women vote for Democrats. These are people who are trying to take your life and your livelihoods. They're trying to take your rights. They're trying to turn every person that wants to just claim it into a woman. They are trying to pump up certain demographics. I'm not going to say how, by Black people. They're not doing anything for you. What the fuck are you voting for? Seriously.
Yeah, I really don't get Black people voting for Democrats because they've done nothing but try and eliminate Black people for a very long time.
The beginning of the country.
Yeah.
The Democrats were the ones, we had slavery at the beginning. Yeah, you know why? Democrats. Civil rights was horrible. You know why? Democrats. Black people are suffering economically now. Do I even have to say it? Do I even have to? Who keeps fucking you guys over? It's not the Republicans. Oh, but the Republicans are racist because Nancy Pelosi said so. Fuck that drunk bitch. She's a liar. They are lying to you. And the press is helping them lie to you. Why do you fall for this shit? Because John Kennedy, Martin Luther King, they once met? Because the Kennedy family, at least in the 60s, Jack, were a little more progressive than the rest of them? That's it. Who else? Come on, bring it to me. Oh, well, Joe Biden, he once got arrested with Nelson Mandela. No, he didn't. He went and sat on the porch of these people who were being targeted because they were Black and they bought a house in a white neighborhood. No, he didn't. It's all made up. It's all bullshit. Look it up. It's all bullshit. Just as much as his Puerto Rican shit, Jack.
I think a lot of the stuff we're experiencing is the fault of Lyndon Johnson's administration.
Right now, yeah, absolutely.
Between him and Woodrow Wilson, those two had some of the worst impacts possible on Black Americans.
Yeah.
Wilson reinstituted segregation, and he was a staunch racist. And Johnson brought us the Great Society, where you get a lot of these welfare queens, which is why you don't have generational wealth, because you can't build generational wealth on a one-income household when you're dependent entirely on public assistance handouts.
Yeah,
it's not possible.
Instead of generational wealth, you have generational welfare.
Yeah.
And it's a real thing.
Yeah, Black people had a pretty nice percentage of stable homes and marriages and success, home ownership, etc., before the Great Society.
Yep. Thank you so very much, Hoko, who says, well, leftist academics said the parties switched. Yeah, because they're fucking liars.
Yeah.
And look, sorry, Black and brown people, listen to me. If you think you have it bad now, imagine when 11 or 40, depends on who you ask, million more people are just thrown into the system. They're already getting welfare. They're already getting benefits. Mm-hmm. They're already screwing the system. They're making you not very rich, pay for these motherfuckers.
Yeah, and your welfare isn't affected if you're working under the table for cash.
Nope. Anyhow, fuck this. I think it's great that they're dropping these illegals off, and that's what they are. They're not migrants. They're illegals. They're illegal aliens. They don't belong in the country. Get them the fuck out, or send them to Kamala Harris's house. Send them to all of these little bastards who live in really nice places. Send them to Pelosi's house. Just make sure they don't have hammers. Just send them to these people who are like, no, there's no problem. Send them there. That's what we need, Jack. There's my new immigration. You want immigration reform? Fine. If you're one of these people out there calling for these folks to be in the country, you have to take care of them until their court date. And you're responsible like a bond agent would be. If they don't show up, you got to leave. How about that?
No felonies in chat, Dexter. No, what they should do, what the Republicans should do, is try and pass a bill that would send all of these people home, that would deny anyone illegally entering the country from ever getting citizenship. And on top of that, we need to have border security, obviously, but it also should punish the employers. Anybody giving these people work should be facing jail time. And until that happens, until the people employing these people go to jail and the NGOs that are bringing them here be treated as coyotes, until those two things happen, nothing's going to change. But you start bringing people over here, whether you're an NGO or a coyote, you get treated as a human trafficker.
Fat man, thank you. Never heard of Pavlov, and what about a dog? Serious? You really have never heard of Pavlov? Look it up. Just a brief aside, me and my son were talking the other day, and like, you know, if Pavlov had Phoebe as one of his subjects, he would have concluded that his thesis was wrong.
Well, it's harder to do that with a cat than a dog.
But anyway, sorry, Jack.
No, I'm just ranting now because until they start actually punishing the people giving these people money and giving them assistance, this is definitely not going to change.
Look, Jack, at this point, why would you hold a business accountable when the government themselves are doing it?
Well, that's the thing, is the government has to stem the flow first, but they do have to start punishing these businesses because
I agree.
Otherwise, that's the real incentive, is that they're going to get jobs, even though they're all going on public assistance. You have to end the public assistance. That's number one. No public assistance for these people. No citizenship for these people. Close the border, then start going after any employer who is still helping these people and the NGOs bringing these people over. Until that stuff is happening, and you can put this all in a comprehensive immigration bill, this is not going to change at all. People need to be more angry about this than they are, and they're not. And that kind of complacency is going to cost you money.
Well, real quick, Hoko, thank you. Dems always have been concerned with who works the fields. Yeah, you're not wrong about that. The people have spoken about this, and they get upset about it as long as you have a strong leader. In this case, it was Trump, who's out there going, this is a problem. And the press tried to downplay it. They really, really did, until Steinle got shot. And then suddenly people were like, oh, wow, maybe this is a problem. And the border was a big issue for a long time, and it just kind of went away.
Yeah, well, the politicians still drag their feet and do nothing.
Yeah.
We need to hold the politicians accountable, too, for not doing their fucking job. Because as it is, they all look like a whole bunch of traitors.
Well, look at California. In California, other than the name, how are illegals any different than citizens? I mean, technically, they can't vote in most elections. They can still do it on what is it? Was it San Francisco that allowed them to vote on like school board elections?
Yeah.
It's like, well, their kids go to these schools. Why?
Because their kids are parasites just like the parents, and they're draining our system.
Why are their kids even allowed to go to the schools? Kick them the fuck out with their parents.
Yeah.
When you have incentives for them to come, they're gonna come, you dumb sons of bitches.
Yeah, I am enraged by the whole dreamer system. There's nothing more parasitical than that. You're not even supposed to be here, and you're getting free education, free healthcare. No, all that shit needs to end. If you're an illegal, you don't get anything.
Yeah.
You came here, you're a criminal. You shouldn't be getting any free healthcare, free education, free housing. None of that. You don't like it? Go the fuck home.
Yeah, there's way too much of this nonsense. They don't belong here. Get out. You want to come here? Look, I really am. I like immigrants, Jack, people who want the American dream, because it's been my experience that people who come here legally tend to be more patriotic than people born here.
Yeah, because they appreciate what they had to go through to get here. If you just wander over the Rio Grande and they're like, oh, I'm going to get free stuff, you don't appreciate any of that. You didn't work for it. You're going to take everything you can and be like, haha, these people are suckers.
Yes, I want people who want to be here and go through the system and prove, yes, I want to be an American. And you know what? For those of you like, well, we have too much already. I have a plan. For every legal immigrant we bring in, we kick out a Democrat from California. I feel like that'd be an even trade. We don't have to worry about, overloading any systems. They can just take their jobs. You won't even notice a difference, I promise you.
Oh, remember there were those articles about the Mexicans being all upset because so many of our Democrats were going down to Mexico City?
Yeah, ruining Mexico City.
Well,
turning it into California.
Up. Yeah. No, boo-hoo, Mexico. Fuck you.
And should we ever run out of people in California to kick out, we just keep going up the West Coast. We can take out the assholes in Oregon and Washington State. Be like, all right, we got somebody who actually wants to be here. You got to go.
Yeah, I mean, one Antifa's worth a few for sure.
So, Jack, some of what we talked about here, just it reminds me of an article I recently read, because we would offend a lot of people with this. Why? Because a lot of people are, well, pussies. And it was an argument in defense of being offensive. And I appreciated it. I've often thought about this show, Jack, because we could be a lot bigger if you and I didn't swear. Because you're not supposed to. Yeah, fuck that. That's offensive. Ooh. You know what? A lot of you motherfuckers out there, and I don't mean our audience, because our audience is fucking awesome. I'm talking to people who might swing by and be like, oh my God, they said the F word like 4 times in 1 minute. Shut up. You need offended more. You need to understand that being offended is not the worst thing that can ever fucking happen to you. Hearing illegal immigrant or illegal alien shouldn't cause you to go into shakes. Oh my God, they said the word. They said the word.
Oh, words have power. Like, if words hurt you, you're a pussy and you need to toughen up. Life's going to be very difficult for you.
I don't believe in sugarcoating shit. I really don't. Because I don't think it does anything. I don't think it does good. I don't think you've ever seen somebody hear an argument, say a Ben Shapiro argument, right? Where he's like, look, yeah, we can't have the illegals here because it's just wrong. It's overloading the system. Nobody hears that and goes, oh my God, he's right. You have to have some kind of offense. You have to have something that snaps your brain that makes you go, holy shit, this is really happening, isn't it? This is fucked up. You need to be able to look at something and go, wow, this is fucked up. Not it's effed up. By the way, those of you who say it's effed up, stop it. Just fucking stop it. If you're not willing to say the word, don't put the letter and then asterisk, 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 because that looks fucking retarded. We all know you mean fuck, all right? You meant fuck when you typed it. Don't be a pussy.
It's effing homosexual.
It's fucking gay. I'll just say it. Yeah.
Monkey, you said the bad words. Time out.
I really am tired of the inoffensive world that we're living in right now. Because it only goes one way. It only goes one way. You can be offended at, say, drag queen story hour. But yeah, well, I'm sorry. We're not going to change that because little kids need to see dicks when they're being read to about Thomas the Train Engine.
Oh, come on, Monkey. The sooner they learn about trains, the happier the drag queens will be.
No shit. I didn't even mean to make that segue. Fuck.
I know, but I found it there and I wasn't about to leave it alone.
I just jumped in with some kid's property that I knew. I'm just so tired of the nonsense about you can't be so offensive. Fuck you. You need to be offended. These people need to be offended. That's like over there on Twitter right now. We've seen all of this to where Elon Musk goes from being a hero, an actual hero, to lefties. Because Tesla, he's got this car. It's going to save the world. And we're finally getting rid of emissions. Go, Elon. And he says, I'm going to let people speak. And I'm like, oh my God. What a fucking Nazi piece of shit.
You're going to hurt people's feelings, you bully.
How dare you? What the hell?
People are a bunch of hypersensitive bitches these days.
They really are. And this is what they're afraid of. I mean, there's another component in there, Jack, where the press really does believe that they built up Twitter and they really do believe that they should be the only ones with the power to decide what can and cannot be said.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what they've been shown over the last decade. If the press decides something can't be said, well, then it can't be said anymore. Go fuck yourselves. And I really do appreciate Elon, because the other day, me and Nuts had just a brief interaction on Twitter. You had said happy Schwanza, and happy Schwanza to everybody.
Happy Schwanza.
We forgot to say that, I think, last night on the show. And she wasn't aware of what it was, so I showed her the video of Nancy Pelosi and her Schwanza. And Nuts was like, I can't say what I want to say. And I'm like, no, Elon owns it. We can point out that she's a drunk bitch. Because before that, if you said that she was a drunkard, there was a chance you could get kicked off, because somebody slowed down video of her talking to make it look like she slurred her speech more than she did.
What are jokes?
She still slurred her fucking speech. She still slurred her fucking speech. But they're like, no, that was slowed down. And so her actually looking like a drunkard, because somebody made a joke about it, they're like, no, I can't call her a drunk anymore. There's no proof that she's drunk all the time. And you know what? That's true. We don't have proof that she's drunk all the time. The other option is that she has the same problems Biden does. That she actually has brain problems, Jack. So, tomato, but we should be allowed to make jokes about it. We should be allowed to laugh about shit. She has a stutter, monkey. Shut up, Frosted. She got that same stutter in her 70s that Biden suddenly got.
Alcoholism is a stutter?
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be a great booze label. Call it stutter. And you could say you have a stutter problem instead of an alcohol problem.
That's true. We don't know if she's drunk all the time. She has to sleep occasionally. Again, yeah. I mean,
did she fall asleep or did she pass out?
We weren't allowed to make those jokes or those comments because, oh my God, that's offensive. Fuck off. You're going to cause things. And that's the other part of it. Now, it's not just you're offended. No. You're going to cause hate and violence against marginalized communities.
Oh, my favorite is that you're going to cause harm. Nebulous harm.
What we've seen, words are actual violence. That is a direct quote that I've seen repeatedly.
Yeah.
Words are actual violence. Come here, let me punch you in the face. And then I'm going to call you a bitch and see which one you think is actual violence. Because one is actual violence, Jack.
Yeah.
The other one is not. Because we took sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. And we changed it. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but have you seen what words can do to you?
Oh my God, words are the worst kind of violence.
It will make you cry.
That they will hurt your feelings and put little paper cuts on your soul.
Paper cuts to the soul was the worst, Jack.
It really is. Oh, man. The suffering.
People need to be offended more. They really do. So that they learn not to be offended so often.
Yeah, stop being a thin-skinned pussy. Life's going to be challenging, and you're going to come across people that don't like you or uncomfortable situations, and you have to learn how to cope with that. If not, you're going to have a hell of a time if the economy takes a total shit, because you're going to just die of, stress.
Stevie says, your words are literal Nazis. Indeed, yeah. Those words are not, the words themselves are now Nazis.
Stochastic terrorism. You said a terrorism. Thank you, Travis Gardner. She is low on adrenochrome. Is that an ingredient in vodka?
Monk, you don't have enough badges to tell me what to do. Good Pokemon joke. Actually, I only have one more badge to get. I'm just tired of it, Jack. I'm just tired of the world right now. I'm tired of the pussies being in control.
Well, sadly, I don't think it's going to get better anytime soon.
Neither do I. I think the Elon buying things was a good shakeup, but it's not enough to swing the pendulum back.
No, it's
because
a lot more.
Well, the real problem is academia and what it's putting out. It is not a coincidence that they started pushing college so fucking hard in the 80s, and now all of these goddamn college educated pussies are out there telling everybody how to speak and behave. It was done on purpose. It was done on purpose because they knew they had to get in there and get into people's brains. And you look at the kind of shit that they teach in colleges, and before and back, no, college can do some good. Some, but we've even seen it starting to affect the medical community. We had that one class of doctors being made to take a fucking oath to equity and just nonsense, not to doing the right thing and taking care of patients. No. It's even infecting the things where college is actually necessary. Why? It's by design. It's by design. Thank you, Frosted Glass. Her BAC, or number of chromosomes, one too high. You mean the pendulum that has swung so far it's in orbit? Yeah, Bubba. Yeah. I've said this before. I think the pendulum broke off the fucking hinge and it's just fucking flying through the air right now. Can we get it back? Maybe. But it's going to take people being willing to be called all the horrible things. And that is the one thing about the Twitter part that is good. Go up there, you can say most of what you want to say. There's still way too many prohibitions. I don't want to say the one because it'll get me in trouble. Just put it this way: a black guy dropped an N-bomb and he got suspended from Twitter for it. But what it does do is let the conversation happen. Go ahead and call me a bigot. Let's talk about it.
No, they don't want to talk, though.
Everywhere else, if you say something offensive, oh, sorry, you got to go away. And it is the one thing I will give YouTube. We do get away with a lot of stuff on YouTube. They allow a lot to be said. But it's the only platform that does, and all it takes is the press to write one goddamn article about it, and suddenly, okay, that's not allowed to be said either.
Yeah. Well, yeah, unfortunately, they'll just bury you in the algorithm so that nobody can see you.
Now I'm going to get on to another part of this that some people are uncomfortable with. They don't like when people use the C word. I don't mean cunt, I mean commie. This goes back to the 20s. They've been trying to do this since then. All the way back then, they were like, you know what? We got to find a way to get into the United States. We got to make the inroads because the United States is like, no, fuck all this commie socialist shit.
Yeah, we'd rather succeed.
And so they started moving in two places: media and academia, colleges and television, radio, and newspapers. And they gained a foothold. And then they started pushing the whole, the pushing of colleges is one of the worst things that's ever happened to this country. You don't need to go to college for most things, period. You just don't. You don't need to go learn about women's studies so that you can flip burgers or stock shelves. Oh, but that'll get you a job to where you're not doing it. All right, fine. You don't need to learn about women's studies so that you can go be an accountant or a lawyer. None of it matters. So why is that shit being pushed into the heads of people who go through there? It's for the propaganda of communism, of socialism.
Yep, power and control.
No, it's women's rights. No, it's not. And if you keep falling for that shit, you're going to just keep falling for the commie shit. Control the language, you control everything. And you have these people in there teaching kids, 18-year-olds. Oh, don't say this word. It'll make somebody feel bad.
Why are you trying to hurt people's feelings, monkey? You monster.
You know, because sometimes people need their feelings hurt.
Whoa, you monster.
I know, right? I'm a dick. I'm okay though. I do think sometimes people need their feelings hurt because it helps them learn to deal. What we're doing now is we're making a whole generation. Well, we're working on like a second or third generation at this point who cannot deal with feelings. Real quick, Travis Gardner, thank you. Made a joke that Biden should carry a flask and discreetly swig on it before speeches, so we think he's drunk, not retarded. Thank you so much. Sorry I missed that. The alert is not going off for some fucking reason. But anyway, yeah, offend people. It's okay. They'll be all right. I can't believe what giant pussies that everybody is these days.
Oh, it's so fucking sad. Probably gonna get worse too.
Have you been following this case of who is it? Was it Megan the Stallion who got shot?
No, she dead?
No. She got shot a couple of years ago.
Oh,
and they just had the trial for the guy who might have shot her.
how many suspects are there in this?
Well, there were 3 people there that night: her, the guy, and another female friend. And somehow there was a gun, and she ended up getting shot in the foot.
Oh, lame.
This guy's facing 20 years. He was just found guilty.
Wow.
And he's like, I wasn't the one with the gun. It was the other girl. I don't know who it was, Jack. I honestly don't care. What I do care about is how it's been portrayed in sections of the media. I forget the name of it, or I forget the term, but it's misogyny against black women. You see, this whole thing is just misogyny against black women. I don't know how. She's black. The guy who she says shot her is going to prison for up to 20 years, but somehow it's just people being mean to black women, because when she came out and said that it was him, by the way, Jack, she didn't say this immediately. It took like weeks or months before she was like, yeah, it was him who shot me.
That makes it sound like the chick did it.
Massage noir. That's it. Thank you.
Massage noir.
Yeah. That is a phrase that it is specifically misogyny against black women. I'm guessing because noir is black and white. I don't know. That's what they came up with.
Noir does mean black, so look, I don't know. This sounds.
But why not
stupid.
massage negro?
Oh, you know why.
I
Negro,
do know why.
that's a no word. But yeah, if this was racism or sexism, there would have been no trial. It would have been like just a misunderstanding.
Well, you see, there were people who didn't believe her, so that's where the
this believe all women bullshit.
I'm sorry, when it takes you several weeks to come out and there's a chance that it was your friend or even you who fired the gun, it's perfectly okay to question it.
Oh, how dare you, monkey, you monster.
And she got her justice, so I don't understand what the whole problem is. But yes, apparently it is a big sign that we just don't like black women in America. Damn it. We got to stop doing that.
Not sure what else you would want done other than being treated like everybody else. Oh, do you want to be better than everybody? Is that what you want?
I learned it from a black woman who hates white people and black men. That sounds right.
Yeah, so she's a feminist.
Remember, black men are the new white people. That is a story we once read.
Yeah.
Black men, welcome to the club. I'm just going to warn you as a white man, stay away from white women. They're trouble.
That's a given.
Stay
away from Asian women. They won't meet, not you.
I saw a poll the other day. I can't remember where it was from, asking if black guys should hook up with white girls. Stay away from why do you guys always go for the fat ones? You only go for the fat ones and the gold diggers. What is with that? There's normal white women out there. Jesus.
No. I'm surprised there isn't a push to get black guys to hook up with Indian women.
Well, no. For equality, they got to have white women.
Oh, I guess. But I would have thought Indian women would, they could cook spicy food. They're a little on the chubby side. on average, and they have the hair that women buy for their weaves.
I just think that if you're gonna hook up with somebody you like. I don't care what color they are.
Well, no, that's not how this works anymore. Soon there'll be requirements on who you're allowed to date.
Well, we've actually seen this. This was part of the Ryan Long video where he was talking about how white supremacists and lefties are almost impossible to tell apart anymore. There's push out there. Black men shouldn't be with white women, and white men shouldn't be with black women. It's not coming from the Daily Stormer. It's coming from progressives.
Well, I mean, kind of the same market, isn't it?
We gotta separate those races. It's normal leftist shit. It's been this way since the beginning. But they make it sound like, oh no, see, black men need to go with black women so that the black race doesn't fade out. I don't give a shit about that either.
You don't want the black race to fade out. You should close down Planned Parenthood.
No shit. What is the estimate? Something like 60 million more black people would be alive?
Yeah.
Something like that. If they, weren't murdering them at Planned Parenthood in every black neighborhood.
Yep. Margaret Sanger apparently had a good marketing team.
She still does. Because have you noticed how they buried that? No matter how many times it gets brought up, that is never part of the narrative.
Yeah, but it's in her books.
It is.
Like all you have to do is read what she said.
No, you see, she just, what was the one quote? She says something about, getting rid of black people. And it was like, no, what she was actually saying is that we needed to, I'm trying to remember it exactly. She wasn't saying that we need to get rid of black people. It was that we needed to get rid of black people who were being forced into some poverty or something like that. She still wanted black people to be born, just not those that were forced into poverty.
She was a eugenicist who talked about population control.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's not like she was quiet about this stuff.
No.
And it was not an unpopular opinion in progressive circles at the time. So, and a lot of this is what kicked off certain ideologies over in the German land.
It's not different from what they say now. Yeah. Because if you're like, if you get rid of abortion, you just want black people to have kids that they can't afford. Well, no, I want them to use birth control so that they don't get pregnant.
I want personal responsibility.
But I also, if they do get pregnant, I don't want the kids killed because I'm not a fucking monster.
Right?
Anyhow. Oh, God. Yeah, I'm just angry tonight, Jack, because I'm tired of the stupid. I really, really am.
Buckle in, buddy. It ain't getting any smarter out there.
I know. Unfortunately, I know. Oh, man, we got Chinese stuff, huh?
Yeah.
Somebody sent us an article. We had more incursions into the Taiwanese airspace.
Yeah.
This one, Taiwan scrambles jets, readies missile defense as China military vessels near island, defense ministry says. I'm very curious what China's doing here. Because they've had way too long for this. You know what I mean? This looks more like scare tactics than something that they're actually planning on doing.
At this point, it might be a distraction from what they're going to do in India.
Could be.
But I do think they are going to go after Taiwan, but they may have just shifted those plans around. But real quick, thank you, Frosted Glass. Hell, the woke crowd is where I heard my favorite racial slur of all time, Alabaster Savages.
Yep.
Tempted to get that one on a t-shirt. You should. Go for it, Frosted. I mean, really, what do you have to lose?
Several Chinese aircraft and naval vessels neared Taiwan early Sunday morning, prompting the Taiwanese defense ministry to scramble fighter jets and ready its missile defense systems, officials said. Ministry of National Defense for Taiwan government, officially identified as the Republic of China, said its forces detected over a dozen vehicles operated by Chinese military near its island at approximately 6 a.m. Saturday. 11 PLA aircraft and 3 planned vessels around Taiwan were detected about 6, its government said. Yeah, see, it just sounds like they're fucking with them.
They're testing response times. I don't know. I think they are going to go into Taiwan. It's just a matter of when. So I think that it looks like they've backed off their plans a little bit because they haven't been doing as much of this stuff.
Yeah.
But they did just do this on, I think, December 5th. They did the same thing. It's just, no, there's not that much reporting on it anymore.
I'm wondering, because look, we know North Korea likes to saber rattle anytime they want something from us.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if China's doing that too.
Oh, they might be.
Because a massive invasion of Taiwan, it's going to be seen long before they get there. And by that time, I mean, they do have defenses there. It won't exactly look like the invasion of Normandy, but it's not going to be. It depends on how many they send, of course, but it's not going to be like super successful right off the bat. You know, it's not going to be going into Baghdad.
Yeah.
And then the Japanese have already said that they will help defend Taiwan. I really don't know how we would react, because officially we have the one China policy, which, for those of you who don't know, it means officially we view Taiwan as being part of China. That's U.S. policy, even though Joe Biden occasionally says otherwise.
Yeah.
Whoopsie.
Whoops.
And then he has to have his spokespeople come out and go, "No, what he meant was."
I think it comes down to who's running the show. If Biden's in charge, we're not going to do anything. And if they do this on somebody like DeSantis or Trump's watch, then they know they'd be in for a lot more shit.
I do wonder, because we already know that like Biden has ridiculously reduced all of the sanctions on China.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if there's another sanction that they're, like, hey, lift this for us. Lift this and we'll back off Taiwan a little bit. I'm just saying.
I think that's more that he's repaying the people he gave his kid money.
I think that's part of it too. But when you see things like the U.S. Going back to the Clinton years, giving in to North Korea every time they do something stupid, with the one exception being Trump going, do it. Let's see what happens. Which, by the way, is how you treat North Korea.
Yeah.
I dare you. Fuck around and find out. But we're not even doing that anymore. We're back to capitulation.
Yep. It's easier.
Yeah.
And they like giving away our money.
I do wonder if we're seeing something similar in China, because the real good time to strike was 6 months ago. Maybe building up to a more summertime. I don't know. I've seen too many of these to think that they're actually ready right now to go. And look, I've been wrong before. I think they're just trying to scare them. Maybe they're even trying to change relations with Taiwan itself. Okay, you guys can still pretend that you're all free and shit, but we need more money from you, or we need preferential treatment because look, Taiwan makes a lot of shit for everybody, including the Chinese.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe like we need more of your stuff. We got all this COVID going on right now. I don't know. I'm just not willing to believe that they're going to take that step right now. It would have made much more sense earlier on in the Ukrainian invasion. But who knows? We'll see. Monk's been wrong before once. I believe it was a Tuesday. I was wrong just the other day. I pointed out that I was saying the wrong movie in regards to the Santa Claus thing, the Santa Claus movie. It was Scrooge, not UHF, that had the Santa Claus fight. Damn it. I hate when I'm wrong. Oh,
you mean the one with Lee Majors?
Yeah.
Yeah, classic.
Why? Just seeing the what is it, Deadly Night, the new movie that's out. I'm like, that's the movie from Scrooge. Santa Claus got a rail gun. What the fuck?
I've heard it's really good. I do want to see Violent Night.
Oh, me too. But I just thought it was great that you can see obviously the influence there. Before we read this story, this reminds me, the former CEO of Twitter, Palagua, whatever his name is, there was a story written that said he was busted with child porn. It is not true.
Yeah, that's from a scam site.
They're a parody site, Jack. We're a satire site.
It doesn't say satire anywhere on it. I looked at it. It doesn't say satire anywhere on it, and it's designed to look like a local newspaper.
Yeah, and it's crap. Even Jack, let me be charitable and say that they're a satire site. That's not satire. Satire is not just accusing somebody of a crime.
Yeah.
It can be if it's within a joke that's going around at the time. You know what I mean? Elon Musk gets arrested for saying a bad word. Haha. Dude got arrested for child porn, which is what the headline was. Yeah, exactly, man. It's just libel. It's just I want to get sued is what it is. Yeah, there's no parody about that. Sorry, that's not how parody works. There's got to be a punchline to parody.
Yeah, and calling people criminals, not a good idea. Real quick, thank you, Furry Kitten, for that feminist donation. You know those hot dogs that you were going to tease the harem of Korean women with? Not a single drop of ranch. Bitches need teasing. Oh, they'll be flavoring. It just won't be ranch dressing.
Evolve says, like calling Ted Cruz the Zodiac Killer, that's a known joke. Yeah, even he's been in on that joke.
Yeah, but that was an obvious joke.
Exactly. That's the point there. That's different than just going, yep, you got arrested with child porn. Yeah, that's not funny. And a whole bunch of people fell for it, like, haha, look, he was caught. Really look into that shit before you just start spreading it.
Just Google it. That would be all over the media.
Yeah, even the media wouldn't hide that one. He's not important to him anymore anyway. All right, pervert. Florida deputies say I just realized there might be somebody in the audience go, what? Anyway, sorry. Pervert. Florida deputies say president of condo association arrested 3 times for allegedly hiding cameras in homes. You know, Jack, I would have trouble renting from people these days.
Yeah.
Cameras have gotten so small and you can hide them fucking anywhere. I would have to shower in the dark. I don't want them making money off of my beautiful naked body.
I don't know if anybody's paying to see my naked body. They're probably asking for a refund.
Oh no, people would pay for mine to be like, oh man, Monkey's sexy. He downplays how sexy he is. Damn. It's the sexiest cripple I ever done saw. Flagler County, Florida. Don't live in some place called Flagler either. That sounds like you're going to get molested.
Yeah, it does.
A Florida condo association president was arrested for the 3rd time after deputies said he allegedly recorded at least 4 people in their homes. Why?
This is a pervert.
I feel like if you've been arrested at all for hiding cameras in people's homes, when it comes to being the association president like that, you should have to wear a shirt that says that.
Well, I don't know how he's an association president when he's a fucking weirdo like that.
Will you talk for just a moment? I'm sorry.
Sure. Is Monk selling his nude vids to loony bins? I do not think so. And they would have video of Monkey's dog licking his nipples. Yeah, they probably would, but I don't know. I think that's kind of minor on the list of things I'd worry about, like the dog doing shit while you're sleeping.
No doubt. Authorities said 59-year-old Robert Orr, who served as the president of the Las Brisas Condominium Association in Flagler County, is accused of installing hidden video cameras inside the condo without owner's permission. According to deputies, the Oh, God damn it. The camera focused on the master bedroom. He was trying to get him humping.
Yeah.
You dirty bitch. Oh, my God. Okay, I guess. Was it like night vision camera?
Oh, quite likely, yeah.
Investigators said they first found the hidden camera on August 30th after a woman staying at the condo discovered a USB camera hidden inside a flower pot. All right, here's just a little help for you. I know sometimes it might seem like a good idea to rent a fully furnished apartment. Don't do that shit. Make it hard on them where they have to like hide it in the lights. If there's a fucking flower pot there or a teddy bear sitting on a mantle or something, you throw that shit away.
Yeah, that shit's spying on you. I mean, that's just a given. But this was a condo, not an apartment, so quite
Fair,
likely these people already own this stuff, and he's just going in and planting the cameras on their stuff.
I mean, I hear you, I do, but just take precautions, guys. Yeah. Don't let anybody in your house either. Fuck that shit.
And don't leave them out of your sight. Keep an eye. They're going to steal your valuables. You're going to find missing watches and jewels and stuff.
I lived in apartments before where they did like yearly inspections to make sure you hadn't broke their shit. And yeah, like you do not touch any of my stuff.
Yeah.
Look, there's no broken walls or anything. Now get the fuck out. All the light switches work.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's stuff they should be told about anyway. Like the light switch is busted. Come fix that.
Yep. Did you have a... Okay, yeah. Go ahead.
Thank you, Travis Gardner. The landlords that I've worked with, I don't have to worry about. None of them can figure out how to do one thing right. Yeah.
Well,
not exactly a high technical bar for landlords.
Look, man, that's what they tell you. That's what they tell you. Thank you, Travis Gardner. Hidden cameras in my house. Oh, things are about to get weird, right? Yeah, I'm afraid that before I called the police after finding this, I would have to do something fucking disgusting. I would take that camera, put it in the toilet, and shit on it, and flush it.
What if they found somebody that was like a super exhibitionist, and they're like, you found these cameras in your house. Do you want to press charges? No, I want more.
It's like, no, I want to hook it up to my OnlyFans.
Yeah, I want a cut of the profits. But they're just for personal use. Now we have an OnlyFans together.
Why can't I pause this stupid shit? I do not like videos I can't pause. I hate that shit. Since then, Orr has been arrested a total of 3 times. He was most recently arrested on December 14th when he was charged with 5 counts of video voyeurism, 4 counts of unlawful use of a two-way communication device. Wow. What a fucking douchebag.
Won't stop.
Investigators said they've identified at least 4 victims recorded as far back as 2018. All right. All the victims were unknowingly being recorded by hidden cameras within the condo. This sounds like it's just one condo.
It might be.
Yeah, like they're just running it out over and over. Orr now faces a total of 12 counts of video voyeurism and 6 counts of unlawful use of a two-way communication device. He has posted a total of $90,000 in bail.
Yeesh.
We knew when we arrested this pervert, this was not... Okay, look, Sheriff, I get you, but you got to not use language like that. That's going to be seen in court as you being biased against the man.
Yeah.
Look, he is a pervert, but just you're the sheriff. You got to be careful. Our major case unit has combed through his seized technology and worked hard to bring justice to the victims in this case. I encourage anyone else that thinks they may have been a victim to contact us. Those who believe they may have been a victim of similar voyeurism are asked to call the Flagler County Sheriff's Office at that number right there. There you go. It's on the screen if you live in Flagler County. I think I pronounced that place like 4 different ways so far.
Probably.
You know what? Just be careful because there's perverts out there. There really are. And you know how easy it is, seriously, how easy it is to hide a camera these days?
Yes.
Thank you, Furry Kitten. I wanted to send you a proper rain reel. I wanted to send, I think that's supposed to be, is that ramen? I wanted to send you proper ramen, real butt burner, Korean stuff. However, if all else fails, get Peanut a fluffy thing or a fireable projectile. Thank you so much. For Christmas, the oldest and youngest, they got Nerf guns. And they have Nerf guns here. They love Nerf guns. Nerf guns are awesome for kids.
They do love shooting things.
Well, it's fun. I mean, there's this explosion sound that comes out. It makes that. It almost actually sounds more like an arrow being fired. But then it goes across the room real fast and hits somebody who goes, "Hey, stop firing that at people." Just saying. Kids, don't shoot people with those guns. Or pets. Don't shoot pets with them either. It's not fun. I was going to say shoot knickknacks, but that's probably a bad idea too.
That's a terrible idea.
Shoot your dolls and stuff. Woman found dead in California yard, allegedly slain by man with space alien delusions.
Like you do.
Wow. I wonder where you got those delusions.
I don't know.
Middle Little needs one too, and her cousins will take her. They all play with them when they're here. The problem with them for little kids is getting it ready, cocking it with, if it was a gun, it'd be the kind of thing. You have to do that with every dart, unless you have a battery operated one, and that can be really hard to pull back. And so, if the kids are playing with them, you spend like an hour or two just pulling back the little thing to make it so the dart will actually fire.
Yeah.
The other problem is they will often look into the barrel of the gun. Like, don't do that. It's not firing. Don't look in it. This is not that kind of movie, okay? Never a good idea to look down the barrel of a gun, guys. I don't care what kind it is. Either you're going to lose an eye or everything.
Thank you, Frosted Glass. This is what we found after putting secret cameras in Frosted's home. Cue video logs from Event Horizon. Stop worshiping Satan in the apartment. It goes against your terms of service there.
Would it be wrong
explicitly
if you found one of those cameras and you just like taped it to your ball sack all day?
I don't know.
Get a ball sack eye view of your apartment?
I have a feeling they would enjoy that.
What if it's turned backwards so it's just the taint cam?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the best thing you can hope for is if you have one of those is that you're one of those people that's never home. So it's just this boring footage all the time.
He's lucky he didn't run into one of those people who's like, I have this World War I era mortar shell. I'm going to shove it up my ass.
Yeah. That guy will live in our hearts and minds for years.
Indeed. She apparently was shot when she confronted a vandal at a cell phone tower next to her home, investigators say. All right. I just gotta have another tangent here. Women, stop confronting people. You're little.
Feminism says otherwise, monkey.
Look, I understand you can go into a McDonald's and berate the people and they got to take it, but out on the street they don't. Stop thinking that you're going to make something happen. Call the police.
No. Feminism says it's okay. Equality.
A mysterious death of a woman found fatally shot in the yard of a Fresno County home was the result of her confrontation with a man experiencing delusions about space aliens, the sheriff said. That man was himself fatally shot by deputies 3 weeks later during a standoff at his parents' home. The investigation that connected the two incidents was detailed in a news conference Thursday by the Fresno County Sheriff's Office. The killing of Amanda Berry was initially baffling, with few clues about who's the shooter or motive. The 44-year-old woman was found slain about 7 a.m. on November 17th. Oh, this is an old article. Well, it's an old story.
Yeah.
The article's only from the 23rd. A flashlight lay near her. She went and confronted somebody in the dark. Woman. Look, I don't think you deserve to get shot, but what the fuck were you thinking? I want to talk to your manager. Jesus Christ. Ladies, seriously, please listen to me. You are not the empowered people that the media tells you are. It tells you are, that you're going to get hurt. Call the police. Or get a man. Hours after the death was discovered, Barry's boyfriend, well, that was unfortunate that I just said that. Get a man that's not a pussy and he'll go do it for you. Barry's boyfriend saw workers repairing a cell tower next to his property. They told him it had been vandalized around midnight, causing an outage. The dude actually was able to disable the cell tower? That's kind of impressive.
Yeah, I don't know. Security these days doesn't seem all that impressive anymore.
Yeah, but I mean, maybe I just thought those things would be harder to disrupt. Sheriff investigators returned to search the area around the tower, and they found a note handwritten in red pen that contained what they characterized as anti-government types of messages. Surveillance video showed someone on a bike had been in the area around midnight. Flashes of light on the video were thought to be sparks from a grinding tool used to cut conduits on the tower. Oh, so he brought a battery-powered grinder with him.
Yep.
Damn. And apparently a gun. Investigators theorized that Barry was killed when she went out to investigate the noise caused by the grinder. Why? God damn it, women.
Chicks are dumb. Like, call the cops. If you've never seen a horror movie, like, the people get themselves in these situations, then they die.
You know, I hope my daughter's listening to this one. Sweetheart, don't do this shit. Call the police. Keep yourself inside. Lock the doors and get yourself as safe as you can inside. You don't need to be going out there and trying to be a hero. You are not Rambo. You're going to get hurt. At the news conference, Assistant Sheriff John Zanoni said the rambling note left at the scene indicated it's possible he, the vandal, felt that the cell tower had some link to aliens or parasites that were tracking him and trying to get into his body. It specifically mentioned 5G, the mobile network technology standard. I've never gotten into the 5G conspiracy, but these people with the 5G, they're kind of crazy. I've seen some of the posts and stuff, Jack. They are not sane people.
You sound like such a disbeliever. You probably are a globist too that think the earth is round or whatever.
If you think that you're getting COVID because of 5G towers, you're just wrong.
Well, no, there's several conspiracies around the 5G. The COVID's the minor one. The other is it's brainwave controls.
Yeah, that's not smart either.
Well, I don't know. If we all end up with cancer, I'm probably not going to blame 5G, but I'm not taking it off the list just yet.
Okay, somebody explain the difference to me between 4G and 5G, how 5G suddenly is like, it's going to make your brain rot.
Well, the conspiracy started because it was interfering with other signals. So, like flight signals from the airplanes and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So until they sorted that out, obviously, if it will interfere with that, then it's sending out some sort of electromagnetic signals. And some people have sensitivity to electromagnetic waves. Ergo, it causes mind control. See how this works? It's just logically.
Ergo, it's dumb as shit.
Well, I'm not saying it sounds stupid. I'm just explaining how it got there.
No, I was just explaining it as dumb as shit.
Oh, yeah. Alien technology, obviously.
Well, I mean, I feel like if you're going with alien technology, we've had a ton of examples that could have been that long before 5G.
Oh, yeah, but this stuff isn't new. They were doing this with cell towers back in the day.
Alien technology, duh. Yeah, supposedly super shortwave or some shit like microwaves, slowly cooking all of our brains.
Well,
Look,
in general,
I'm okay with, being skeptical of new technologies and stuff, but not to the point where you're out there cutting down conduits and shooting women.
well, yeah, that's kind of a no-no. But it is one of those things where a lot of it is not understanding the science because it's poorly explained, or they don't bother to do any research, and it's that, and people are stupid.
Yeah, you keep trusting the government monkey, and the bug came from a pangolin. Look, I never believed the pangolin thing. I called that shit out immediately. That's bullshit.
Yeah, we called that out real fast.
Came from the fucking lab that's right there. Remember when Jon Stewart got so much shit for pointing that out?
Yeah, but Jon Stewart's a piece of shit, so I don't really feel too bad for him.
Me neither.
Real quick, thank you, Chicago Mike, for that very generous donation. Merry belated Christmas, Jack. Since we're not Canadian, I will not wish you a happy Boxing Day.
Oh yeah.
Well, thank you, Chicago Mike. I appreciate that.
I meant to do that. When I said Merry Christmas to the people who still had it, the British Empire, they celebrate Boxing Day, which is the day that they gave all their let's call them workers, their toss-offs. Happy leftover Christmas Day.
Happy hand-me-downs.
Happy peasant, you can have this shit because I don't want it day. Happy Boxing Day, guys.
So they're announcing another racial switch in a Marvel movie?
Possibly. Could be. That comes pretty regular. Oh, this is kind of related to the last one.
Yeah.
3 power substations vandalized in Washington State. Over 14K lost power. Now, see, this is updated from when I saw it. It was only 1 power station. Yeah. So 3 power substation facilities were vandalized in Pierce County, Washington on Christmas morning, knocking out power to more than 14,000 customers, authorities said. Are they still going with this only happens because they were trying to get rid of drag queen footballs in kids' face?
Local solutions for local problems. So gotcha. Yeah, they'll probably have something similar, somewhat similar excuse. Hey, real quick, thank you, Shio. Feel free to not read. I can't read that, dude. That's funny as shit, but I can't read that. Yeah, I would we would get in trouble for that one, but I will tell it to Monkey off the air. Thank you.
Thank you, Chicago Mike. That's very, very generous. Merry belated Christmas. It's also the second day of Christmas. Use this to buy Lady Monkey 2 turtle doves. I'm be honest with you, I don't even know what a fucking turtle dove is.
It's a flying turtle, obviously.
So it is from the movie UHF. Unfair Ophelia.
Apparently it's a birthday.
We got a birthday in there. Unfair Ophelia, this is for you. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Unfair Ophelia. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. I hope you have a wonderful one. I really, really do. And I hope your life does not mimic Ophelia from Hamlet, because that would be fucked up.
Yeah, that would be really depressing.
A turtle dove is battery operated. Fuck. All right. No suspects are in custody, according to the sheriff. It's unknown if there are any motives. You might not know the motive, but come on. We don't know if there's a motive. Come on. Really? We don't know if there's any motives or if this was a coordinated attack on the power system. Is this guy retarded?
I don't think he understands what's going on here. Like I said, local solutions. There's nothing to see here. Everybody just relax. Not a big deal.
And we saw this, it was less than a month ago when it happened over and over in different areas.
Yeah.
But because it happened in one area where they were having a drag event, a child-friendly drag event. It wasn't even drag time story hour. Because it happened in that place too. They're like, oh, it must be, the Proud Boys because they don't like the drags.
Yeah, as far as I could tell, there were 2 substations shot in North Carolina. And the drag event was the excuse. Yep. And then there were, I think, 3 on the West Coast, total of 7 overall.
And weren't there, like, if I remember correctly, there were 7 or 8 attempted ones that just didn't work out?
Yes. So now we've got 3 more successes during a massive cold snap. You can't tell me this is a whoopsie doodle.
Earlier this month, 2 electrical substations were shot up in North Carolina, causing tens of thousands of customers to lose power and prompting local officials to declare a state of emergency. Yeah, I'm just going to go out and say it, Jack. This is a leftist group.
Quite likely. Or the Russians.
I think it's a leftist group. I think it's the same kind of shit that went on with the Tesla crap.
Yeah.
This is... We saw with the bill that was just passed. You had people like, oh, you guys missed the chance to make it so we don't use fossil fuels anymore. They have people so fucking scared of fossil fuels.
Yeah.
Furry Kitten, thank you so very much. I've been informed by a supposed EE, electronic engineer, that we don't have gigahertz technology as he looked it up on his phone. I'll take his word for it, but 5G just sounds cool. And thank you, Shio. So Jack doesn't have to do it behind the scenes. Oh, yeah. You definitely can't read that one. Thank you so much, my friend. Wow. That is funny. That's real funny. Sorry, guys. There's times we just can't. We just can't. And we do reserve the right not to read stuff, even if it comes through Super Chat, because we like to be able to still do the show.
Yeah, it's kind of our income.
This is fucking gross. No. I saw a great meme the other day. It said, if lizard people aren't in charge, why are they trying to get us to eat bugs?
Well, that's funny because I have a bug article.
Well, that's why I was bringing it up.
That's what I thought.
That's what reminded me.
I'm not looking at that screen. I'm watching chat.
Bah humbug. How insects could become the backbone of your Christmas dinner. For the record, I eat Mexican food for Christmas dinner, so probably not. We had great tacos, man. I had a big-ass taco salad for dinner. It was wonderful.
I had a sad little microwave meal because nobody loves me.
Well, now we're just sad, Jack. Buy a monkey coin to make Jack happier. No? All right.
I got nothing, man.
Throw hungry man money at Jack.
Yeah, I do need to go grocery shopping. That reminds me. Hungry
man dinner and a little toy action figure that he can eat dinner with so he's not alone.
My sister, being Japanese, she doesn't quite get a lot of Americanisms.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
And that means that this she doesn't understand fat shaming at all, so she'll just tell you you're fat.
Oh, yeah.
And so somebody's like, you're fat shaming, she'll be like, yes. So she got me a gift certificate for Christmas to a local restaurant that's like a fast food place.
Mm-hmm.
that Raising Cane's I'm always talking about? Yeah, I got a gift card for that. And I was like, wow, are you calling me fat? She's like, you are fat. Like, thanks.
Look, see, there's no malice in her saying that.
No, she doesn't mean anything negative by it. It's just funny.
Look, you're fat.
Yeah, and she's not wrong. And I was super happy to get that gift card.
Right? All right. Although you may never want all the trimmings to include crickets and mealworms, it may not be long before they play a big part in getting your usual Christmas Day favorites onto the table. Well, here's an idea, and I'm going to throw this out there. Stop fucking with farming because we have plenty of food. We don't have. Americans throw away a shit ton of food every day. Yeah. We have plenty of food. We don't need to do this. The reason to do this, pay attention, y'all, is because they want to make it so we have less cows and pigs and chickens because they're ruining the planet. Don't you say, fuck you. I'm going to keep eating cows and chickens. I might even try horse one day, Jack, but I'm not going for your bugs. All right. When we went to my father-in-law's house, we stopped at one gas station and they were actually selling like chocolate covered bugs.
Nope. Just because you got roaches doesn't mean you get to sell them. This is a plan to lower life expectancy and get people used to a lower standard of living.
Yeah. This is meant to, and again, like I said, this is to try to get less farming done because they're blaming. That's the new thing is farming is causing all of the global warming. You see, we have to have so much land for farming. We could be making cities on that land. Or, and listen to me, we can make hamburger there.
Yeah, which infinitely more delicious. No, we saw them seizing land in the Netherlands because they're trying to do some environmental bullshit. This is just to lower expectations and keep you poor. You'll own nothing. You'll eat the bugs and you'll like it. It really is that simple. They want you to get used to doing what they want because this is their perception of. It's a secular religion with them. This climate change nonsense is a quasi-religious cult. And I hate them.
Whether the traditional turkey or meat-free nut roast. I am too juvenile for that. A meat-free nut roast. There's plenty that goes into making a good Christmas dinner, but while competition at the supermarket or your local butcher is always high ahead of the festive season, this year winds down against the backdrop of warnings of impending UK food supply crisis. By the way, if you go
created but artificially,
yeah, go back into the 70s and they'll tell you all about how we're not going to have food by now.
Yeah,
a shortage of eggs, farmers say, could just be the start. There's a shortage of eggs because they had to kill a whole bunch of chickens because of disease. That's it.
Yeah. But don't forget, it's also because of climate change.
There was a bird flu that was infecting chickens. They had to kill a whole bunch of them so that it didn't infect the rest of the chickens. And so there were less chickens to make eggs. It's not like, oh my God, all of the chickens, we just run out of capacity. No, that's not what it is. And it's fucking retarded for them to put it this way.
Yeah, so but they're going to dress it up however they want.
Of course. So while your highly anticipated Christmas dinner may be spared from what's to come, Easter lunch may not be so lucky.
Those Easter worshipers are going to suffer the most.
Oh, God. Thankfully, there is a potential solution all around us. Some of them are crawling beneath our feet, others buzzing around above our heads. And before you can say, bah, humbug, I'm not about to suggest you replace your lovingly prepared roast with insects.
You're just going to have a bug roast instead.
Better Origin, based in Cambridge, wants to make food waste part of the supply chain. Given the United Nations estimate of 17% of global food production being thrown away, there's plenty to go around. Here's where insects come in. Feeding them waste can transform them into nutritious alternatives to carbon-intensive soya and grains commonly used to feed livestock. The way to view this is insect protein. The reason it's great and nutritious is their amino acid profile is very similar to meat. I don't want to eat similar to meat. That's gross. Would you, Jack, if somebody's like, on the menu tonight is similar to meat.
Yeah, that's why I don't eat the Impossible Burger. I don't want your weird plant food that's trying to mimic. Why is your plant food trying to mimic meat if you hate meat so much?
The ethos of the supply chain is using technology to mimic nature, converting waste back into food. While you would likely not dream of eating a rotten apple, in nature it could re-enter the food chain either by being consumed as is or decomposed by bacteria and built back up. What? All right, look, just eat regular food. This is nasty. Stop trying to push this stupid shit on people. Food is fine. Every so often, Jack, something happens where, like a disease will hit cows and beef prices go up for a while because you got to remake cows. You got to let them hump and make little baby cows that we'll eat later.
They'll look delicious.
This is happening with chickens. We can resupply the chicken population pretty quickly because they make babies a lot.
Yeah.
We can fix this. Just relax, for fuck's sake. Fuckers never heard of a compost pile. Well, here's the thing. They want to do this and feed it to the animals, which, okay, if you want to feed animals bugs, that's fine. They already fucking eat them. But this will make them healthier or whatever stupid shit. No, this is all just the push to get us to eat bugs. I'm not eating bugs. Go fuck yourself. You can eat almost meat. I'm not doing it. I've already said this many times. Like, if you tell me it tastes like chicken, I'm just going to eat chicken. Because I already know chicken's delicious, Jack.
Yeah, and I know what's in the chicken. I'm not eating your weird bugs that might have some kind of like tapeworms or something in it.
Well, I'm like this. I'm like this with all the weird meats. Like, have you ever tried alligator? No. I'm not gonna either. I'm gonna eat a chicken.
Yeah.
Anyway. Da-da-da-da. Stop trying to get people to eat bugs. It's gross.
Yeah, nobody wants to eat bugs.
Fucking idiot came up with this.
People that are desperate to get us off of something they hate. Look, people in the third world eat bugs as delicacy because they live in the fucking third world and there's no food there.
Yep.
Like, crickets are delicious. Yeah, because locusts just ate all what you laughingly call your crops. So you have nothing else to eat. So, of course, you're going to be like, I'm going to eat that.
Almost all American cows are related to two bulls from the 1960s. Well, those two must have been tasty as fuck because the beef is delicious.
Yes.
Nom, 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 nom,
bison is really good, too. I do like bison.
Never had it. Probably not going to try it. I'll just have a beefsteak. It's
really good. It's like a slightly spicier burger. I highly recommend trying a bison burger sometime. It's mind-blowing. No wonder everybody hunted them to near extinction.
I'd probably just stick with cows.
But they're just basically weird-looking cows.
Yeah, but I'll just stick with cows. You can have it, and I appreciate that. I know people like all kinds of weird meats. I stick with the three main ones. Give me a pig, give me a big slab of beef, or give me a chicken. Just saying. Beefalo is great. Nah, man, fuck that. I'm eating cow.
Oh, man. The place I used to go to in college, this pizza place, had a buffalo. It was called a Wild West Lovers Pizza. It had buffalo, bacon, and mushrooms on it. And it was amazing. It was probably the best pizza I ever had in my life.
Yeah, of those, I will only eat one of them. I will eat I won't eat buffalo and the little shit you find on the ground and poop. I don't eat mushrooms. Saying he eats raw hot dogs with ranch dressing and thinks Footloose is a hetero movie. It is a hetero movie. It just has a gay scene in it, just like Top Gun. Top Gun's a hetero movie. It's just got one gay scene.
All the dancing is pretty fucking gay.
Dancing isn't gay.
Dancing is super gay.
Women love dancing.
Yeah. And you know what else they like? Gay men.
You take them dancing, they get all wet, and you take them home and dry them out. That's right.
Straight guys shouldn't dance.
I dance well, thank you.
That's your hair controlling you.
No. I at our one junior prom, I was one of the few guys who actually danced because everybody's standing on the wall like retards.
I dance like that episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia where they go to the high school reunion.
Oh.
You think you're doing great, and then you see the images, you're like, oh, I was just drunk as shit making noise.
See a bunch of guys in chat dancing is gay. Okay, how many of y'all who say dancing is gay have a woman?
Well, I don't go to gay clubs, so. Do basement chicks count?
No.
Oh.
Anyhow, I don't think you should be, or you should want to dry them out. Oh no, I use it all up, baby. I don't stop until there's smoke. If my daughter is listening, skip the last 15 seconds.
I think we're a bit late.
UFC fighter takes matters into his own hands, stops home invasion. By the way, Stephen, fuck, I forgot his name. There was a UFC fighter who died yesterday. We did not mention it on the show. Somebody in chat will know his name, I'm sure. God, yeah, he was younger than I am.
Yeah.
And just kind of died. At least last we knew.
He had some sort of
heart problem.
Yeah, cardiac infarction or something. You know, nothing mysterious. Bonner. Yes, Stephen
Bonner. Thank you. Stephen Bonner. R.I.P. to him and his family. Condolences, man. Yeah. Jabbed? Faithless, we're just going to have to guess on that.
Yeah, because of terms of service.
UFC veteran Lando Venata, I think I'm saying that right, is the latest fighter to use his mixed martial arts skill set to battle crime in his neighborhood. Yeah, these mixed martial arts folks have turned into kind of a Batman lately. Have you noticed there's a lot of these stories popping up where like a UFC fighter beats the shit out of a criminal?
Yeah. I saw one years ago where some dude tried to snatch a purse and it happened to be an MMA fighter who's cross-dressing.
Yes.
So beat the shit out of the robber. It's great. Ever since then, I'm like, these MMA people should really just be citizens on patrol.
I am not sure how to see this or say this. Fair Cane Low Permit. Thank you for the donation. Monkey, what about fish? They seem fairly normal. I don't judge people who eat fish because it's been a staple of the human diet forever. I just don't eat it myself because I don't find it tasty.
Yeah, I'm not a big fish person. I do like fish occasionally, but most things that swim in their own poop, I try and avoid, whether it's a woman or a fish.
I will eat a tuna salad sandwich, but that's about the extent of my seafood eating. I used to eat fish sticks. Gotcha. When I was a kid, and I liked them. But as I've gotten older, they're just mealy. I don't really care for them.
I've gotten food poisoning off sushi before, so I try not to eat anything with actual fish in it. I'll eat like a California roll occasionally or something with like chicken in it, but nothing raw. Because I don't like salmonella or E. coli or any of the other common problems like that. But thank you, Fricane Lopamit. I'm sorry if I butchered that. Money for Jack. Oh, thank you very much. Appreciate that. I like money.
Venata described what happened in a recent Twitter thread. According to him, he saw an attempting home invader outside his house on Wednesday morning on a live video cam. He then chased the man down with a gun and sorry. We've had a lot of these lately where somebody's chasing somebody down the street, and it always makes me laugh because I'm just picturing it in my head. With a gun and bare feet, despite temperatures in the 20s where he lives. Veneta said the man then attempted to break into his car before Veneta hit him hit the lock button to scare him. As the chase ensued, he called his neighbors to notify them about the situation. He then took matters into his own hands and used a flashlight and a gun in an attempt to find the trespasser hiding on the neighbor's balcony. After coming face to face with him, he then challenged him to a fight.
You want to go, bitch?
You want to go, bitch? By the time officers arrived, Vanetta said they told him that the squatter broke into another family's home earlier in the night. Luckily, the residents were able to force him out after a brief scuffle inside. The accused then escaped to a local shopping center after being chased down by Vanetta before cops got a call matching his description. The housebreaker also allegedly assaulted a cyclist before fleeing into nearby woods. It's uncertain if the man that he chased down was arrested at the time of this story. You don't give him an option if you want to beat his ass. Just beat his ass. That's what he get.
Yeah, no warnings. Just do it or don't. But this Lando guy, who has a great name, by the way, he said on Twitter, like, this article makes me sound more badass than I am. I'm like, what are you talking about? I think you're playing it down here, buddy. You should be like, yeah, I kicked his fucking ass.
Vigilante justice because cops won't or can't do it anymore. I mean, if you catch him in the act, calling the police is probably the best idea. But if you're an MMA fighter, like, I'm going to beat this guy's ass. I got a gun too. I got to kind of give it up to the crook who took off running from a man with a flashlight and a gun pointed at him.
Yeah, I mean, I won't want to stand there and fight that dude, but
I'd have peed and just been like, whatever.
Don't kill me. But yeah, Faithless, vigilante justice because cops won't do their job anymore. Yeah, we're going to see a lot more of this type of stuff. The crime rates are skyrocketing because they've handcuffed the cops so much and the police are hiring idiots. Yeah. So we're going to have a lot more of this stuff. It's just going to happen, especially with squatters and the homeless. They're not doing anything about those problems.
It's 20 degrees outside. You think these guys are just going to sleep on the street?
Yeah, they're just going to break into places and then poop all over the place.
Yeah. And smear it. For some reason, they like to smear feces. I don't know why. Maybe it keeps them warm, Jack.
I guess. Maybe they're trying to block the 5G signals.
Excuse me. Twitter will ban you right quick if you recommend vigilante justice. I found that out the hard way. Pretty much every social media platform has a it's not even necessarily against vigilante justice, but wishing any kind of harm on people.
Yeah, or advocating criminal activity.
Yeah, and vigilantism is criminal activity. Even if you're forced to do it because the cops won't do their job.
Which is why we don't advocate for people taking the law in their own hands, because
look,
it's wrong.
You and I had quite a discussion about that one time. I understand it and forgive it a lot more than you do. Mostly because I think we're at a point where it's either that or you're not safe. The problem becomes the vigilante. I mean, who watches the watcher, right?
Yeah, well, that's the thing is there's no accountability.
Yeah.
That's why we have to have police departments that can do their jobs. Whether you like it or not, the police are necessary evil because we need somebody to be someone that's overseen by leadership, civilian board, whatever you want to call it, that can enforce the laws in theory equitably. Because if you just leave it to people's moral compasses are all over the place. Yep. Maybe we take this one in, maybe we just shoot them here. And that's a very dangerous proposition. It's why I don't like private police forces. So I think the fact that we have vigilantes is a sign that something is wrong in society.
Consider this. We always talk about it with the First Amendment argument. Take the vigilante argument and apply the same thing. What if it's the leftists who are deciding what it was that you did wrong?
Yeah, and how often have we seen Antifa being the arbiters of what happens in places like Portland and Seattle? That's they're not accountable to anybody. We don't even know their names most of the time, unless they get arrested for something. So you have a bunch of masked vigilantes running around distributing justice and climate justice and whatever other kind of insano crap they want to do. That there has to be an accountability and transparency there. Until we get that, this sort of thing is going to continue to escalate.
Well, we need the police to be able to do their job. We saw so many police departments being just undercut by the people who are supposed to be uh, charged with taking care of communities. Like whether it's out there in Portland, Ted Wheeler is over the police. In other places, you have the mayor, and then you have a police chief who's a separate person, and all of them sold the police down the river.
Oh, absolutely. The police need better training to know what their boundaries are, what the rights of the citizens are.
Mhm.
They need to be held to account when they violate those rules.
But they still have to be able to do their job. And in a lot of the
Absolutely.
places where we hear, well, the police won't do their job, you need to look a little bit deeper. They're not allowed to in a lot of cases.
Yeah, but they're the ones that the public encounters the most
Yep.
because unless you know the chain of command, like Ted Wheeler is the cause of a lot of Portland's problems. Him
Yep.
and DA Mike Schmidt. If you want to find the root cause of the problems in Portland right now, those two are a huge part of it because they're keeping the cops from enforcing the rules equally.
Ted Wheeler made it so that during the siege on the federal building there, that local police were not allowed to work with the feds who were also trying to keep the peace there. Like, no, you guys can't do that because I want to get reelected. Yeah, DAs are 90% of the problem. They are a big part of the problem, but if you back up before you ever get to the DAs, look at the police chiefs. Look at them. We're like, yeah, we're not going to stop this kind of activity anymore.
Yeah, the DAs, police chiefs, mayors,
Yep.
they all need to be held accountable for this. And that's why local votes are so important during elections. And as long as you have some kind of free and fair election, you need to pay attention to who you're voting for and what they stand for and what their records are. Because like people like Mike Schmidt and Ted Wheeler keep getting reelected because nobody will run against them.
Even you can't even take the rhetoric. I'm just going to say it right here. Look at what side they're on.
Yeah.
Eric Adams ran on law and order. I was a police chief, law and order, law and order, law and order. And then he gets in there, and one of the first things he does is backs up the DA, who's like, yeah, we're not going to prosecute anybody, even on gun charges, unless they actually like pulled out the gun. Like, what? I'm sorry, what? You find somebody with an illegal gun and you're like, nah, just you can walk away.
Look what they're doing in Chicago, where like you're not even going to go to jail for aggravated menacing or stalking. Mm-hmm. They're going to cut you loose right away. They just go and get your photo taken, your prints taken, then they cut you loose. You think there aren't going to be a bunch of people victimized over that?
Well,
shit, insane.
We saw that in New York with the ridiculous bail thing. That guy who had gone to jail for beating up his girlfriend, he gets out immediately and goes and kills her.
Yeah, because a restraining order is a piece of paper, and psychopaths don't stop at pieces of paper.
Watch It's Always Sunny, man. The waitress has had restraining orders against Charlie forever.
Yeah.
He's always in her face.
The joke is always a restraining order. No judge can stop my love.
Yep.
Because that's what it is. You're just saying it's a pretty please. You can't hold it up, and it's not a crucifix to vampires. You know, you're not going to frighten them off. So there has to be actual accountability. People need to be held responsible for their actions. And until we get back to that, this is going to continue to be a skyrocketing problem.
Most of the bad police are in big cities like the 90s Portland cops mostly sucked, and same with Seattle. I think that there's a lot more good cops out there than people want to give credit for. Yeah, there's bad cops, of course.
Yeah.
But a lot of what we've seen, especially going back, starting with the George Floyd killing, suddenly it was like, yes, we have to defund police. We have to limit what they can do. They're no longer allowed to use pepper balls to get rioters to break up because some idiot got hit in the nuts, which, by the way, funny shit.
Yeah. Well, and that's how that black business got burned down.
Yep.
Because they did that after the no pepper ball thing was instituted. We had to watch these cops just walk around and get shit thrown at them constantly, including Molotov cocktails, Thankfully, most of these Antifa clowns can't throw because they have pussy little noodle arms.
Yep.
But it's ridiculous. Real quick, thank you, Furry Kitten. Free and fair. You're so funny. Hey, I got terms of service I have to abide by. But thank you, Furry.
And nuts, I absolutely agree. It's still I love watching one of these rioters get hit in the nuts with pepper balls. If I was one of those guys with the guns, I'd be aiming. I would be aiming nut level. Because it's funny. Remember the one camera guy? Somebody mentioned his name when I brought this up about a week ago or 2 weeks ago on Twitter. I forget his name. Trey, I think it is. He got shot in the nuts. Unfortunately, it's not on camera, but what is on camera is the aftermath. And they have a medic, a Antifa medic, come over and look at his balls.
Yeah. What's that retard gonna do, Antifa medic? Why don't you just say, hey, here's the guy with a box of salt.
Well, what she said was go home and ice it and take some Motrin and stuff. And if it's not better in a day, go see a doctor. That is a bad fucking idea.
Yeah, go to an emergency room if you get hit in the nuts that hard.
Immediately. Because it can cause serious health problems.
Yeah.
You get hit in the nuts hard enough, it can give you an ulcer. It can also cause torsion, not tortious interference, actual testicular torsion.
Testicular tortious interference.
Indeed. You get hit in the nuts really hard, go to the doctor. But yeah, she's just like, you just take some Motrin and some ice and you'd probably be better tomorrow. That bitch don't know.
Yeah, that's gonadic terrorism.
That bitch works at a bookstore. What are you talking about?
Yeah, those fucking Antifa medics were some of the funniest fucking clowns.
I love them. They're so great. They don't know shit, but they were there with their little med kit, and she got to look at his balls. I think that's great.
Stevie said maybe he's trying to meet an Antifa girlfriend after watching too many old war movies. No, that's the funny part. He actually did get hit in the nuts.
Yes,
he did. And you know what? He deserved it.
Yeah, he was kind of a shitbag. He did good video work. We got to see a lot of footage from him.
Yeah, but he was also one of the stupidest human beings we've seen in a very long time that had a camera. I was surprised he knew how to operate it because he was so dumb.
So testy terrorism. Oh my god. Faithless. I shouldn't be laughing at that. It's very bad when somebody gets hit in the nuts with it. No, I thought it was funny. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I mean, there were a lot of people that I thought kind of had it coming.
I didn't even think it was a bad idea when some of them got hit in the face, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. Well, it's all about the angles, right?
But they're like, they aimed it right at me.
No, they aimed it at the ground and bounced up. That's called physics, and anybody that plays pool understands that, including that cop that shot that.
Yes.
He was just like, I can angle this. Watch this, fellas. I can bank this.
Yeah, and you know what? These guys aren't going to procreate anyway, which is great, but it's nice to make sure. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. And
it's nice
you know what?
Sure.
Sometimes you don't learn unless you get punched in the dick.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank y'all for the monkey coin buys tonight. You guys are awesome. Don't forget, you can buy your own monkey coin. It doesn't do anything for you, but it helps me get ramen noodles. Thank you for coming and hanging out with us tonight. I appreciate it. Thank you for all the shares and the likes and spending. A lot of you spent your Christmas with us both today and yesterday. We appreciate it. And we love you. Thank you for coming and hanging out. Anything you want to shill, Jack?
I'll drop a link to a really cool video. As always, thank you so much for the donations. You guys are awesome. I hope you all had a wonderful holiday season, especially Christmas, because, that was the day that we just had. But thank you all for that. And I hope you have a lovely day today. If you're going to go shopping, get some good sales. Be careful out there. The weather's garbage here in the States. If you're not in the States, well, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what your weather's like.
Once again, thank you for Kane Lopamit. I don't know how you're supposed to say that. I'm bad at names anyway. I'm gonna call you Fur for right now. Thank you so much. Well, one of the biggest issues with these Antifa clowns is that they are just LARPing. They think with the mentality that I took a social justice class and now I know everything. One of the funniest things was seeing someone with a toy shield. Oh God, no. There were several. My favorite shield was the guy who had the wicker one.
Oh my God, yeah. It looked like the lid off of the laundry basket.
Yes. I hear you about the toy shields. There were several of those. But this motherfucker was dressed like a knight. But he looked more like a mental patient dressed up as a knight. And yeah, he had a fucking wicker shield.
You know what? I might have a picture of that guy still on my
Oh my God, I fucking loved him. He was so great. I'd also like to point out that is the first time my notification actually went off tonight.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So apparently what I got to do is at the end of the show, turn it on so that I can hear all the notifications.
I guess. But yeah, there were so many of these people have no concept of what they are actually proposing. And they are largely just pussies. They just hide in a big group so that they can have protection that way.
And they said the degree in basket weaving was useless.
Right.
Hey, Bubba, you working? Is Bubba out there still?
I don't know.
I want to try to do a game stream. I don't think it'll work. I saw the satellite today. It's got quite a bit of snow on it, but hopefully Whines has blown it off. It didn't last night, but I'm hoping for tonight. It's just too cold for me. It's not that far for me to walk and clean it off, but it is so cold outside, and cold is like my kryptonite, dude.
Well, you're already a cripple, and then you throw the wind chill in there, you're going to die of frostbite before you get. They're going to find you sitting there like Jack Nicholson at the end of The Shining.
Yes. Just frozen in place. But yeah, I'm going to try, guys. Twitch.tv/rantingmonkey. Hopefully, once this storm passes, we won't have any more problems this winter. Bubba says, yeah, I'm at work. Damn, I was hoping you had a Christmas day off. All right, well, then if it works, we'll play some 7 Days to Die. We'll get to see how the base works because we didn't get to do that yet. The internet has been an ass. So,
I don't have a Wicker Shield guy that I can find real quick, but I do have the other knight that we saw.
Oh, yes.
Medieval knight next to dude in his underwear.
In his underwear and a helmet. Why bother with the helmet?
I love that he's wearing medical gloves too. Because this is such a shit show. These people are such fucking freaks.
I miss the riots. I really do. Those are so much fun.
I felt so bad for those cops that had to deal with this shit night after night. Because, they're thinking like, we could win this if you just stop restricting what we're doing.
Oh, man. That shit was funny, though. I enjoyed it so much. Look, it was horrible because they were tearing down the city and being shitbags, but just for the sheer comic. Remember the one chick who got behind the fence and they drug her out and they're like, oh, look at how they're being mean to this woman. All she did was try to call her son over. And actually she was involved in lighting a fire close to the federal building.
Yeah. Oh, the media spin was ridiculous.
It was wonderful. It was wonderful.
The so-called press were some of the dumbest fucking people ever.
Like, look how mean they're being. Not as mean as they should be. That bitch is an arsonist. She should have been in cuffs.
Yeah. Well, a good ass kicking goes a long way toward not doing it again. So I'm all for giving them truncheons back when people do this shit.
I'm just a fan of the pepper balls. You know what we didn't get to see? We did not get to see a good cunt shot.
That's true. A good cunt punt. Oh my God. If they had had a Luke Skywalker in the federal building, they could have launched the pepper balls off the ground and landed them right up in her like a reverse ping pong show.
I just one of them who dropped because they took a pepper ball to the twat.
Yeah, and it rolled right up in there like a fucking pinball game. Oh, that'd have been hilarious. I got pepper spray in my vagina.
Pepper balled in the vajiji.
Loose lips sink ships.
Indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming and hanging out. Jack, a pleasure as always.
Always glad to be here.
Have a wonderful Boxing Day, everyone. We'll see you next time.
Bye, everybody.
I wanted to see a pepper ball in her box, but it never happened. So I had to be content with guys taking ball shots. And it was funny.